All for Love by John Dryden. What was Dryden's profession besides poetry? Playwright. Which company commissioned Dryden for plays? King's Company. What was Dryden's longest critical work? Of dramatic poesy. In which year was Of Dramatic Poesy published? 1668. Who is Dryden's famous contemporary in Puritan poetry? John Milton. Which is the satirical work did Dryden published in 1682? The Medal. Which literary form did Dryden frequently use for his satires? Heroic couplet. Which literary device is prominent in Dryden's work? Satire. What literary technique did Dryden favor in his dramatic works? Blank verse. Which English ruler did Dryden remain loyal to? James II. What was the primary theme of Astraea Redux? Restoration. What is the setting of Dryden's The Wild Gallant? London. Who was attacked in Dryden's Mac Flecknoe? Shadwell. Which English monarch appointed Dryden as poet laureate? Charles II. Who excused Dryden's political shift in Lives of the Poets? Samuel Johnson. What major historical event did Dryden witness in 1660? Restoration. Which poetic form did Dryden use in Marriage La Mode? Blank verse. What is the alternate title of All for Love? The World Well Lost. In which year was All for Love published? 1677. Which literary periods does the play belong to? Restoration. What is the genre of All for Love? Tragedy. Where is the play set in? Alexandria. How many acts are there in All for Love? 5 acts. What is the writing style of the play? Blank verse. Which Shakespearean plays inspired All for Love? Antony and Cleopatra. What is All for Love primarily about? Love. Who is the ruler of Rome in the play? Octavius. Who was Julius Caesar defeated by? Antony and Octavius. Who is Antony married to? Octavia. Who is Octavia's sister? Octavia. Where has Antony been living instead of Rome? Egypt. Which city does Octavius lay siege to? Alexandria. What is John Dryden's most well-known play? All for Love. What was Dryden's aim in writing All for Love? Revitalization. Which literary form is the play written in? Drama. What theme is central to the play? Love. Who seeks revenge on Antony? Octavius. What is tested in Antony and Cleopatra's relationship? Loyalty. Who is protagonist of All for Love? Antony. What is Antony's military rank? General. Which empire does Antony belong to? Rome. Who is the queen of Egypt in the play? Cleopatra. Who is Cleopatra's lover? Antony. Which character is described as emperor of the world? Antony. Who is Cleopatra's servant and advisor? Alexas. Who is Antony's closest and oldest friend? Ventidius. Which character is described as proud, honorable and eager for war? Ventidius. Who is Antony's friend with a passion for Cleopatra? Dolabella. Who is the Roman character ruler that never appears on stage? Octavius. Who is Antony's wife? Octavia. Who is Octavia's sister? Octavia. Who does Antony abandon for Cleopatra? Octavia. Which character is a model of virtuous Roman womanhood? Octavia. Who is Cleopatra's most loyal maid? Charmian. Who is the other maid that dies with Cleopatra? Iris. Who is the priest of the temple of Isis with political influence? Serapion. Who is the other priest of the temple of Isis? Myris. Who is deeply concerned about Egypt's fate? Myris. What is Cleopatra famously known for? Beauty. Who is one of Cleopatra's closest advisors? Alexas. What is Antony's tragic flaw in the play? Love. Who is described as fiercely loyal to Cleopatra? Charmian. Who is Cleopatra's eunuch servant? Alexas. Who witnessed several ominous signs at the beginning of the play? Serapion. Who fears that Antony will leave Cleopatra? Alexas. Who is the Roman knight and Antony's old acquaintance? Ventidius. Which character disapproves of Antony's relationship with Cleopatra? Ventidius. Who arranges a grand party for Antony's birthday? Alexas. Who offers to spare Cleopatra's life if she betrays Antony? Octavius. Which character disapproves of Antony and Cleopatra reconciliation? Ventidius. Who is Antony's former friend from Rome? Dolabella. Why have Antony and Dolabella been on bad terms? Cleopatra. Who describes Cleopatra as having unmanned Antony? Ventidius. Who tries to persuade Antony to return to Rome? Ventidius and Dolabella. Who convinces Antony to leave Cleopatra? Octavia. Who informs Cleopatra that Antony is leaving her? Alexas. Who argues with Cleopatra about Antony's loyalty? Octavia. Who delivers Antony's farewell to Cleopatra? Dolabella. Who helps Cleopatra and Dolabella to trick Antony? Alexas. What emotion do Cleopatra and Dolabella try to provoke in Antony? Jealousy. Who confirms to Antony that Cleopatra and Dolabella are lovers? Alexas. Who takes Antony's children and returns to Rome? Octavia. Where does Antony climb to watch the battle? Tower. Which naval fleets does Antony see joining forces? Egyptian and Roman. Who does Antony believe has betrayed him to Octavius? Cleopatra. Who falsely reports Cleopatra death to Antony? Alexas. Who does Antony ask to kill him? Ventidius. Who refuses to kill Antony and instead kills himself? Ventidius. What type of snake does Cleopatra use for suicide? Poisonous. Who is the last character to appear in the play? Serapion. What is a major political theme in All for Love? The political ramifications of love. Which play of R.B. Sheridan is considered the greatest comedy of manners in English? The School for Scandal. The play All for Love opens with dash. Serapion describes foreboding omens of storms of the Nile of Egypt. In the age of Dryden, which literary form gained popularity for its wit, humor, social manners, and romantic entanglements? Restoration comedy. What term is used to describe the literary movement that emphasized reason, order, and classical forms at the age of Dryden? Neoclassicism. Who is known for his witty and satirical plays during the age of Dryden? William Congreve. Who is called Emperor of the world in All for Love? Antony. Who opens and ends the play in All for Love? Serapion. The heroic play All for Love stands for love and honor. Who describes All for Love as a trash of dramatic attempt? Hazlitt.